You got questions, I got answers, let's do it. Okay, so welcome to the premiere episode of Chard's Q&A. You ask me questions, I provide you answers. Okay, so the first question is from Tara in Houston, Texas. She wants to know what is the best phone to get. So here's my take on that question. The phones today are very high-tech and sophisticated, got good camera, got good processor, they got good screen, they got good everything. A lot of things is great about these phones. I mean, you can't really go wrong if you choose whichever phone that you're looking at right now, whether it be from Apple or it's from the Android side. The phone can be good at taking pictures, playing music, and look pretty and all that good stuff. But one thing you need to keep in mind here is the network. That's the very first thing you need to narrow down before you even talk about looking for a phone. You can have the greatest phone, but if the network sucks, you go to places and you can't get signal, or the connection is poor, or you keep dropping calls, that's not going to make that great phone any great anymore. Now you're going to say the phone sucks. If you research which network, and that depends on the area you're living in. Some areas going to have better service depending on which network you choose compared to another. And I know these phone companies out here boast that they have the biggest network and all the stuff, but I have at&t, and I'm telling you, I've been places or even in buildings where I lose signal. So the hype from the telephone company is not really telling you anything. That's just their way of getting customers. So the top ones I would say are like at&t, Verizon. I think T-Mobile will be the third one in line, and then Sprint. And I can speak for 3 of those networks that I have had service with. I know I've had Sprint, and that service was not that great for me. I had to jump ship. When I jumped ship, I went to the T-Mobile network. Now the T-Mobile network was much better, but every time I went in certain buildings, no signal. So I jumped ship again, and I end up with at&t. And I've been with at&t since then. And the only reason I haven't tried the Verizon network is because my SIM card wouldn't fit in a Verizon phone because they use a different type of network setup. So my answer to this question is choose your network, then choose your phone. It doesn't matter which phone you want to get. It all depends on your preference, whether you want the Android or the Apple, but it doesn't hurt to switch sides. I've been on both sides of the bridge. I started off with Apple and then I switched to Android, and I'm still with Android right now. But I wouldn't say in the future I wouldn't go back to an Apple iPhone. But right now I'm comfortable in the world I'm in. Okay? So like I said, Tara, choose your network, then just pick the phone that you like, because you're not losing out. I mean, the phones are great. There's plenty of apps on the App Store, and most of the apps are universal on both sides. There's a few that's Android only, and there's a few that's Apple only, but that number is very small, and you can find an equivalent. Okay? Next question is from Paul in St. Louis, Missouri. And his question is, should I get a Mac or a PC? Well, Paul, to answer that question, I'm not going to say one is better than the other. They both have their strength and weakness. So most people in the creative world, what are they doing? Graphics, art, music, movies, they usually use Macs. While on the other end, the people in the business world and even most schools use Windows machine because they're easier to purchase as far as cost. Not saying that because it's cheaper, it's not that good. It's only because, like I said, it's more mass market. The Apple world is more like premium price. So you're getting a well-built computer, usually made out of aluminum or some type of metal, where you're getting a premium device and you're paying for that premium price. Operating system, they're totally different kinds. Yes, you've heard that Windows get more viruses than the Mac, and the Mac is not totally bulletproof. They just haven't found the right caliber of bullet yet to actually penetrate it, which is a good thing. The software that runs on Mac and the software that runs on Windows are more and more alike. There's Windows only software and there's Mac only software, but you can find an equivalent version depending on what you're looking for. Office runs both on the Mac and Windows, and that's Microsoft Office. So you're not really missing out on which side you're going. It's how much you want to spend and what you're familiar with. If you're familiar with the Windows interface and you like how it's operating, then use that one. If you're familiar with the Mac and you like how it looks, then use that one. So you can't really miss out. Just use the one that you're more comfortable using and you'll be all right. If you ask me, I live in both worlds because I deal with computers every day. So I have a Windows and I have a Mac. So I live in both worlds. I started off in the Windows world and then I switched over to Mac, but I never left the Windows behind because, like I said, I live in both worlds because I deal with computers all the time. It's the world I live in. Okay, so the next question is from Stan in Queens, New York. He wants to know what kind of antivirus should he use. Okay, Stan, so for years I've been using Malwarebytes. It works for me. But there's Norton, there's Semantics, there's all kind of antivirus software out there. For me, like I said, I use Malwarebytes. It finds all those adware and malware and spyware and all the stuff that could possibly get on my computer to make it run abnormal. I would get Malwarebytes. There's a free version. It works well. But you can also get a paid version that runs all the time. You know what I mean? So as soon as it spots something, it pops up, let you know that, hey, I found something. The free version, although it works well, doesn't run all the time, like proactively, if you know what I mean. So you'll catch the problem after the fact. But if you get the paid version now, it's like a guard standing there all the time. And not like the team that goes in after the crime has happened. You know what I mean? The CSI team. So that's the difference with it. Free, paid. I would get the free version at least and run that on your system and you should be good to go. So the next question is from Molly in Alexandria, Louisiana. What is the best printer to get? Okay, so Molly, the 4 main brands that I know of today. I mean, there's some other brands out there, but these are the ones I can recommend. HP, Canon, Epson, and Brother. The one that I like the most out of that bunch is Canon. Canons to me run like a train. They've been serving me well. They're fast. That's my favorite printers. And the next in line I would pick from that is HP. So if I'm recommending to you which one to get right now, it would be either a Canon and an HP. You can't go wrong. Epsons are okay. I've had an Epson before and it failed me. I'm pretty sure they probably improved it since then because that was probably about 10 years ago. Never had a Brother, so I'm not sure about those. But I know Brothers make good fax machine and other equipment. Now you got to decide whether you want an all-in-one or a photo printer or a laser printer because they come in all different flavor. It all depends on how much you want to spend as far as what it does, how much stuff it does, and that type. Because you got the inkjet and then you got the laser. Some people buy the inkjet because it's much cheaper to buy the cartridge, while the laser, they last longer, but the cartridges are more expensive. So you got to weigh out how much money you want to spend. Either way, you can't go wrong with either the Canon or the HP. My preference, like I said, if you give me a choice, would be the Canon. And I'm not trying to sway you that way. I'm just saying my preference. But like I say, if you choose an HP, you can't go wrong. All right. So the next question is from Johnny in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Now he wants to know, should he get a device that has Google Home, Amazon Alexa, Apple Siri, or Microsoft Cortana built in? Okay, Johnny, so it all depends. Right now, the most dominant one on the market is Amazon Alexa. If you're going for smart home type of setup, right now, the most dominant one in that field is the Amazon Alexa. It has more manufacturer using it to connect to devices. Google Home is next in line. Siri is down there at third, and I'm not sure what in the world Cortana control. So if home automation is your field that you're trying to get into, you can't lose with Amazon Alexa. Google Home is okay, and it will work too, but you have to pick and choose your devices. There's a lot more skills that's built into Amazon Alexa where you can do pretty much almost anything. And the next in line, like I said, will be the Google Home. It comes next if you're just trying to do some things, but you're going to be limited in a lot of things too. Google Home is good with information, but then again, it's using Google's search engine technology. So therefore, it's going to find things much better than what Amazon is going to do because Amazon don't have that kind of resources yet. I'm pretty sure one day they're probably going to work on it, but they don't have the resources right now to pull in a lot of data like the Google Home does. So if you're asking me which one to get out of these 4, I would say go with the Amazon Alexa if you're looking for more home automation, because that is an area that Amazon Alexa is strong in. If you want more informational stuff, then you want to go with the Google Home, because that's a field that Google Home is strong in right now. And that's because, like I said, it's pulling data from Google's search engine technology. So that should narrow it down for you. Siri, I'm not sure what in the world Apple is doing with that one, but they need to figure out what they're going to do, because it could be a whole lot better than it is right now. Microsoft, I'm not even sure what they're doing with Cortana. I mean, it's very few things that Cortana can do. I mean, it's built into Windows 10 and it can do Windows 10 type of things, but when it comes to home automation and other stuff, it's not that great. And there's a few devices out there that actually have Cortana built in. I think one is from Harman Kardon, where they have a device particular for that. Siri, you're only going to find it on Apple's HomePod and in Apple's devices. So don't expect to see another third manufacturer making that. There's a lot of manufacturers using Google Home technology too and put it in different devices. And like I said, Alexa is everywhere. So I hope I gave you the answer that you were looking for. All right. Okay, guys. So that's going to be it for the first round of questions I'm doing. I'm going to try to do as much of these questions as possible. So if you have questions and you want my take, my answers on these questions, go to the website that I have posted down there in the description. Once you get there, fill out the form and then look out for the upcoming video of my answers to your questions. So ask me anything, because if I don't know the answer, I will research it, find it, and then I'll come back with an answer for you. Okay, so I want to thank you for taking the time for watching this video.